Hello, Music Wednesday people. We are here with Maddox.
Meredith and Brandon Maddox. You got the last right.
Did you guys ever go by just Maddox or no?
We haven't ever gone by that. That's an idea, though.
Do you have any kids?
No.
We don't.
We have a cat.
Maddox. Yeah. And then Barry here, if you don't recognize him, Barry Corder got a haircut.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be able to wear a hat again.
That is exciting. Maybe we should
That's
both
the
wear
truth
hats
too.
on Wednesdays.
I thought about wearing it today.
Yeah, that's cool. So you guys look pretty cool. Look at that shoe. Shakeem, can you see her shoe?
It's got a tambourine on her shoe.
Wow, that's better than a hat, Barry.
Tambourine, I know.
Setting the trends here.
She can't sneak up on anybody.
No, I'm not like this.
Look at mine. Shakeem, can you see mine? They just don't ring.
Oh. Well,
They look like they
know.
would ring, though,
Good.
like little bells on your feet.
Reindeer bells.
Jingle bells.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe for Christmas. So what are we going to hear with all of this going on in the Maddox world?
You're going to hear 5 original songs here.
Awesome.
And I've got one that was on radio just last year. It reached
Cool.
number in the 50s on the Music Row chart.
Awesome.
Nice.
What's it called?
Good Side.
Good Side.
They just moved back, well, to here. You're from here, moved to Nashville, and just moved back.
That's
We'll talk
right.
a little bit
Wow.
more
Yeah.
about that. But
I just drove back from Nashville yesterday.
Yeah, what'd you
Yeah.
do?
I work for WSMV sometimes.
Yes,
Like
Channel
consulting
4.
with them. Yep, the best one.
Oh, Demetria.
She's not there
She's
anymore.
not there anymore?
No.
Okay.
But a good new news director from DC named Mitch Jacob, and cool woman, Michelle. Thank you. She keeps me in her good graces. So. Cool. So good side.
yeah, let's
Be
hear it.
appropriate for that.
Yeah.
Are we going to play that one first?
Yes, we are.
Let's
that's
do it.
appropriate.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
This is a song I wrote with a guy actually from Canada, and he had come down to Nashville, was making some cool things happen. He had some cuts with some other independent acts, and we met on a camping trip up in Michigan. A friend of mine organized he's a co-writer friend of mine. He organized this little songwriter retreat in Michigan, and I decided to go on it, and that's where I met the co-writer of this next song, Good Side. And it's just basically a song about making sure you get that good side in your selfie picture on a Friday night. So here it is. Gorgeous, beautiful is the best that I could do. There is no $5 word that's good enough when it comes to you. Got on that black dress, hair down, going out on the town. Sexy smile, girl, get your camera up. Let's make a memory now. Something about this light is hitting you just right. I had to laugh when you said, make sure you get my good side, 'cause every side's your good side. Don't matter where you stand. You're mine tonight, and I'm the lucky man who gets to love you. If you could see what I do, you'd see the perfect view and realize every side your good side. Every side your good side. Dancing, drinking, and every eye on you. It's really something watching everybody, watch your every move. Under that neon shining, you got me hypnotized. Jaw drop, my world has stopped just like these moments etched in time. Something about this light is hitting you just right. No matter how the picture snap, I always get your good side, 'cause every side's your good side. It don't matter where you stand. You're mine tonight, and I'm the lucky man who gets to love you. If you could see what I do, you'd see the perfect view and realize every side your good side. You say you have a bad one, but we both know that's a lie. Unless you're talking about the one that likes to get a little wild. 'Cause every side your good side. It don't matter where you stand. You're mine tonight, and I'm the lucky man who gets perfect view and realize every side your good side. Every side your good side. Every side your good side. The next side I'd argue is your best side. Yeah, you're a perfect girl. What can I say? Good side. Every side your good side.
All right.
Well, that was so good. It was really good.
Who was the co-writer?
His name is Ryan Sorstad.
And you had not written with him before?
I had written one song with him just before on the camping trip. It was one of the best songs that came out of the camping trip, even if we do say so ourselves. We played it for everybody, and then we were coming home one night from one of our shows, and he said, "Brandon, you know, that was the most commercial song written this weekend." And I said, "Yeah, it was. It was the best one written that we heard." And so we got together maybe 6 months later and wrote Good Side.
Nice.
People want to know where they can find you now that you're Chattanoogans once again.
Yes.
Whenever I film something and I post it on Instagram, people start asking me questions.
That's great.
I like
Yeah.
this question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/Brandon Maddox Music. That's MADDOX on that Maddox name.
Okay.
And then Instagram.com/BMadMusic on that. And Twitter.com/BMadMusic on that as well.
Cool. All right. Well, you got 4 more to get through, so let's do one more, because then I want to talk a little bit more about the songwriting, but I don't want to eat up it
about
with
your love
talking.
Story.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do both of that.
So what are you gonna do next?
I'm going to do one called Dirty Hands, and it's sort of a salute to our blue collar guys out there that do the dirty job, so to speak. And this one here I wrote with a guy named Scott Brown up in Nashville. He actually was in a band called the Scooter Brown Band.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Shakeem, do you have dirty hands? You're blue collar? No. Yeah. I do.
Yeah, so we dedicate this at every show to our blue collar folks out there that keep the world spinning around.
They
They do. I mean, they take care
hard
of so many
workers.
things that most people wouldn't want to do. So
Like mamas.
That's right.
yeah, right.
Like
Yeah.
fixing my truck, which
Right.
they're doing at this very moment.
Right.
Can you fix my sunroof? It won't close.
That's a bad deal right there.
Oh, okay.
Won't open is different than won't close.
Right.
This will be the first song that Reba McEntire's band has not backed me up on any albums. She's backed her band has backed me up on all the other songs like
Awesome.
Good Side and Dixie Chaser and all that.
Awesome.
But this one here, my band actually that I use out on the road, we're working this one up to do in the studio collectively as a band, grassroots kind of a thing. So we'll see how it turns out, but live it goes over really good, and we've kind of been producing it among ourselves, getting it all arranged and producing that kind of thing.
Tell everybody your Instagram again.
Yes, it's Instagram.com/BMadMusic. That's the letter B, M-A-D, music.
Or at BMad Music.
Mhm.
Okay.
Faster. At BMAD Music.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, she's here.
Right,
That is. I
yeah.
keep her around for some reason.
Yeah.
It's always in charge.
Yeah, just asked all direct questions to her.
Direct question.
It is Dirty Hands. Bust my knuckles digging ditches, turning wrenches, and anything the boss man says. Working 12-hour days just trying to get paid. I thank God for these dirty hands. I work hard for everything I've got. My pride comes with it that can't be bought. The grease, the sweat, the mud, and the blood is worth it to a guy like me. Hugging and loving, providing for my family. Yeah, I pay my share to Uncle Sam and go to bed every night thanking God for these dirty hands. From the farmers and the ranchers to the men who swing the hammers with a working man's PhD. Their calluses and scars tell you who they are, and a story isn't every one you see. They work hard for everything they've got. A pride comes with it that can't be bought. The grease, the sweat, the mud, and the blood is worth it to a guy like me. Hugging and loving, providing for my family. Well, I pay my share to Uncle Sam and go to bed every night thanking God for these dirty hands. The grease, the sweat, the mud, and the blood is worth it to a guy like me. Hugging and loving, providing for my family. Well, I pay my share to Uncle Sam. It might be hard for some to understand why I chose this life like the carpenters, painters, muddy side layers, landscapers, road pavers, and everybody else out there with dirty hands.
Right.
We're
Songwriting.
interested. They say good for the first one. Good.
Nice, nice,
Awesome.
nice.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you very
Greg
much out there.
Greg Hembry.
Hey, Greg.
From Hembry Guitars. We film there sometimes. The shop.
Yep.
Oh, awesome.
Nice place.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
Where are they located at?
It's kind of an underground like guitar museum across from we're cool to tell across from the National Cemetery.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's neat.
cool,
Awesome.
right?
Yeah.
It's a
Definitely.
great spot. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have a lot of bands like in the past. Strung was rehearsing there. I don't know who is right now. I can't keep track of everybody, but it's a cool space to rehearse and film.
Awesome.
And he makes custom guitars. Really cool.
Yeah. And you were saying you were looking to sort of get into the network here, right?
That's right.
What brought you back?
Well, my dad actually needed some help with some real estate property. He decided that he was going to sell off some of his real estate and just kind of scale back. And so he said, would you mind coming over and taking over some of this real estate, being kind of a property manager kind of thing? So we worked out the numbers on the money, and that was a big catalyst because for 10 plus years we've been poor singer-songwriters out there, making ends meet, which is more than some can say, but still it's tough to do the musical trade. It's just not an easy trade to do.
Right.
So
No matter where you're living.
no matter where you live,
Right.
it's tough. It's a tough industry. So just the fact we were able to do it was cool, but he said, I need some help. And I said, okay, well, we'll come on back. So we moved back. I've been helping him minimally on the side. I still have plenty of time to pursue the music stuff, and we're going to keep on trucking with that. We're not giving up because we moved back. A lot of times, you say you're moving to Nashville. Okay, well, you're going to be a big star someday. But, that doesn't work for most people
Right.
unless you have massive millions invested in your career.
Right.
Or
right.
it's just like there's the few people, very few. I don't know many. I lived in LA for a long time, and I met some of the most beautiful, talented angel voices who I have no idea what happened to them.
Right.
But every now and then, like somebody gets like a lucky break. But that
Right
is
place,
very,
right time.
very rare.
Yeah,
very
right place.
rare. I don't really even know of anybody off the top of my head besides Julia Roberts.
Well, there've been a few
Smyrna,
from here.
Georgia.
Like Kane
Yeah.
Brown comes to mind. Kane, right
But,
place,
like,
right time,
Kane-
and had
That
the
is
internet.
true.
And,
Yeah.
That's done well.
I don't know many, but many musicians have other jobs, and they just want to play, like to be
We
heard.
can talk about the smoke and mirrors of the industry.
This industry too.
For sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear another one, and then let's talk some more.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Okay. This one here I wrote called God Knew Better with a couple of friends of mine back in Nashville, Dan Rivers, and initially I started writing with Jeff Batson. And this one here is one that Dan, Jeff, and I co-wrote together. The idea came from actually a struggle that Meredith went through as a child. She had faced cancer as a child, leukemia, and stayed at a Ronald McDonald House, and she told me the story of that on one of the first few dates that we had. And
Tough.
it made my mind start going into songwriter mode, and I started thinking about like how, sometimes some people would write off somebody that's going through that as a child. You know, they're going to die for sure. You know, they're a kid with cancer. But God knew better than that. And that's where the title came from. God knew that she would survive. She'd go on. She's been 20-something years cancer-free. And that's one reason we work with Ronald McDonald House of Chattanooga as well. We've been doing a lot of things with them and plan to have more.
It's a great organization.
Yeah, and for
it's
the
amazing.
kids who do go, like God, wanted them to go.
Yeah, for people who don't know, Ronald McDonald allows the family of
To stay
children
with
who are
them.
to stay for free, so they
I
don't
just
have to
heard of
worry
that.
about
like
that.
somebody's a baby is having like a PIC line or something, and they were like, "Oh yeah, the family's staying at Ronald McDonald." Like
It's
just
nice,
yesterday.
Safe place to stay. You don't have to worry about it, and you
It's-
get a place where you can cook a meal and do laundry. All those things that you kind of take for granted if you're not.
Yeah,
at
it makes
home.
it just
Staying in a
easier.
hotel is one
Yeah.
thing.
Or if you don't have that you have to worry about constantly.
bring people
That's the worry is the
food
key
and bring
word
people
there. It
food.
takes that out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, just show up. Just show up.
All right. Well, let's hear it.
All right. Yep.
Yeah.
It started with a checkup. They gave her less than 6 months. Said she didn't have a fighting shot. On that long dark flight to Houston, she said, "Baby, I can't do this. These pills are taking all the strength I've got." I pretended to be tough. She was on the brink of giving up. Tried to say goodbye, but I wouldn't let her. We all thought that was the end, but God knew better. There was a higher plan just out of view. Her sweet smile's a living proof. Looking back, we didn't have the answer, 'cause God knew better. We were changed forever. Touching her was heaven, and every kiss had so much more to say. We walked a little slower, danced a little closer, and found the magic hidden in each day. We talked about how we'd been blessed, reminisced, cried and laughed, figured out the things that really mattered. We didn't think we could love each other more, but God knew better. There was a higher plan just out of view. Her sweet smile's a living proof. I'm thankful every day that we're together, that God knew better. Was a higher plan just out of view. Her sweet smile's a living proof. Our faith and trust is stronger now than ever. Will I ever doubt who's in control? I'll never, 'cause God knew better. Yeah, God knew better. God knew better.
So good. Well, I thought you guys are so talented. I have a first time. I'm doing a preview live on Facebook. I've never done that before.
Wow.
First time. And also a first time. This is Meredith and Brandon Maddox. That we've had somebody with a story like that, child who 22 years cancer-free, leukemia-free.
Yeah, glad you're here.
Met, yeah, we're very glad.
Oh, we want to
God
talk about
is
the
blessed.
love story, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
met a man who
Could write a song
to
about
write
it.
a song about it. That's
I
awesome.
mean, what girl doesn't want their significant other to write a song about them.
I
For
know.
Sure.
The last one I had was called "Baby, I'm Sorry."
Oh,
Yeah.
That says it all by the title right there.
You know, you say that, and I've told this story before, and I was interviewing Jason Isbell's wife, Amanda Shires.
Good.
You know,
Love
that
Jason.
that beautiful song.
White feather. What is it? Feather?
Is that the one he wrote for her?
I don't know.
the-
No, that's her song. She's so good.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he wrote the one, you know, for her, and I asked her, you know, what was that like? And she said, well, first of all, it better not suck.
right. I mean, that's the first
And then
thing.
Yeah.
secondly, you know, it's like you put all of our laundry out there in front of everybody.
Right.
So they're, you know, then thought about it that way. You said earlier after the first song that you guys felt like it was one of the most commercial, or another one that you had written. Is that your approach? Are you writing with other people in mind? Are you writing for yourself, or a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. It depends, because if a song is already lending itself as the writing process, we may not start off with like, we want to make this a commercial song, but as it goes along and it seems to take on that flavor, then we automatically try to steer it towards that, especially when I'm looking for a new single to release myself. And I knew that, you know, we go out to shows, we play, you know, 210 dates a year sometimes on the road. So we're gone a lot of the time on the road, playing from Minnesota to Key West and
Right.
the Northeast to Key West. And so we cover a lot of ground. We play a lot of shows, and we see people everywhere. You know, they'll take selfies out on a Friday night. We watch a lot of party crowds go down. And we know how they enjoy the party kind of song.
Yeah.
It's really hot right now. It's a really big current thing.
That's what I was going to ask, if you sort of paid attention to the current trends with that in mind. I
Yeah.
think you're probably the first guest we've had, is why I'm asking. I'm kind of curious that has done the sort of Nashville publishing writing approach to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very, you know, I used to have a publishing deal on Music Row, actually, and wrote with guys that had written for Johnny Cash and guys that had written for Glenn Campbell and George Strait, and then Jason Aldean, the song She's Country. I wrote with the co-writer of that. So there's...
What's your favorite country song, both of y'all?
Oh, gosh. I mean, see, it varies for different reasons, but I like a song that tells a story, you know, whether it be...
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You know,
I mean, from the songs you've heard today, they all sort of tell a story, but what the current thing is it's not storytelling as much. It's more of a pop approach. So I try to make it as much like the current that's still art. I don't want to get off into something that, to me, doesn't really encompass the word art. If it doesn't make music to my ears when I write it or I play it, or I don't consider it something that's a well-written lyric, then I don't want to release it and put my name on it. And really, I don't write that kind of stuff. You know, it's got to be a story. It's got to be something that
It's real.
is a country song. You know, it's just a country song, like
Right.
what country used to be, so to speak.
My
And if it's not what
favorite-
country used to be, so to speak, it's
Right.
Yeah, my favorite are the old ones too. Same with Barry. Do you guys have a favorite artist or a favorite song, Barry? I know Barry does.
Yeah.
What is
I-
your favorite country song, Barry?
Probably Mama Tried.
Oh, good one.
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a very good
one.
choice.
Perfect. It's a
I like
perfect
even
song.
as old as. I mean, not to say that I'm pigeonholed into this. I like a lot of '90s country. I like a lot of early 2000s. That's my
What
wheelhouse.
about
Is
Hootie?
not
I
not
like
so
Hootie's
much,
old
but
other
I'm.
stuff. I like Hootie's
I like
old stuff,
it won't be like this for long.
That is a good
I
one.
like something poignant. You know, Whiskey Lullaby, Brad Paisley. I'm more of a fan of songs than I am of particular artists. But Brad Paisley would have to be my all-time probably favorite artist, just because he can play the guitar like a freak, and he's you know a great
Haven't heard of him in a
connectable
while.
individual
He
too.
co-writes with a good friend of ours, Kelly Lovelace.
That's right. I'm a big, huge fan.
Chattanooga guy.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. Super talented.
I've never met him.
Wife was in Father of the Bride.
Right.
Right. Kimberly Williams. Yeah, she's very nice too. What's your favorite country song?
I grew up listening to some country music with my dad playing the guitar and playing some like Johnny Cash and even like John Denver and things like that. But
Country Roads.
yeah, but I'm trying to think of a specific country song, and really, the one that's coming to my mind, I've got two that are coming to my mind, and that's "Don't Take the Girl"
Mm-hmm. That's a great song. Yeah.
and also "Troubadour," like the George Strait troubadour.
Cool.
I don't
Mine
know.
is
Today, that's what's come to mind.
I thought you were gonna say, which reminds me, I thought for some reason you were gonna say "I Will Always Love You" by Dolly
Oh.
Parton.
Wow, yeah,
That's a
good
good
one.
one.
though.
I
Just-
love "The Seeker" by Dolly Parton.
Pick a Dolly song. Yeah,
Any
that'll
Dolly
work.
song.
That'll
Right.
work.
Her
Talk
voice
about a
lends itself to
songwriter.
That'll
Dolly
work.
too.
Yeah, I hear. That's why I was thinking
Mhm.
you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
But that's a huge songwriter. If anybody out there hasn't really looked into Dolly Parton, there are
Oh,
She's
and so
amazing.
many things that she's done behind the scenes
She's
that
amazing.
maybe people don't even realize, and
Yeah.
how much she gives back to her little community is just unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a great.
I enjoy watching the old video Johnny Carson interviews with her,
Oh yeah.
where it's so clear just how smart she is and was,
Yeah.
and wasn't taken seriously early on,
For a
but
long
she
time.
knew exactly what she was doing.
Right.
So,
Yeah, she's smart.
all right, what are you gonna do next?
I'm going to do a song that won Song of the Year in 2017 on the Josie Awards show. So the Josie Awards, for those of you that don't know what that is, it's the largest independent music awards show. So that means it's essentially lower on the scale of political crap. So
It's like the Grammys
yeah.
for independent artists, though. And there were like so many nominees and categories and everything. And this was the first song that Brandon sent out to radio. So we were really honored for it to have won the 2017 Modern Country Song of the Year by Male Artist.
That's a
right.
mouthful.
I know.
Yeah.
Done by you or done by?
yeah, I did it,
Nice.
recorded it, and also wrote it. And I knew pretty much when I wrote the song that it was going to be a song I would release as a single. I felt really strongly about it. My co-writer, he thought it still needed some work. I said, no, this is, put some production on this. It's ready to sail. So we did
Nice.
went to the studio with it several years later when actually some people decided to invest in an album. They wanted a couple of their songs on my CD, and they would pay for all the project. And that's a lot of money
Awesome.
that goes into recording a CD that most people may not realize.
And
is
y'all, that's why
how
we're
much
here at
money
the
is
public
involved.
library. This is a free recording studio, and it's an educational center for kids to learn how to do all this.
And what a great
Yep.
space.
Awesome
Yeah, that's
space.
We're
nice.
just lucky to have something like
Yeah, I
this.
don't think we've said thank you to these guys in a long
Thank
time. Thanks to
you.
the
Thank
studio at the
you.
Chattanooga
Yeah.
Public Library, Ethan Martin and Charles Allison, and
Yes.
And all the kids.
Meredith for allowing us to be here. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
what's the
All right.
song title?
It's called Dixie Chaser, and it just kind of came from my co-writer actually had the idea, Dan Rivers. He said, I got an idea for a song called Shot of Dixie. So that's really cool. And he said, I could just see that as an album title, Shot of Dixie. And I said, I like it, but I think it needs a little bit of work on the back half. She's a shot of Dixie. It's obviously talking about a girl, but then what can we add to that to hammer home the hook? And he said, and so we both kind of collaborated on that for a little while. Came up with She's a Shot of Dixie and I'm a Dixie Chaser.
Oh.
I'd
Dixie
recently-
chick. Chaser. Well, I like the chicks. Chaser. Chasers
Okay.
and chicks.
And so I'd been to New York City recently during that time to meet a manager up there on 48th Avenue in New York City. He flew me up there. I didn't even know
Nice.
him. He had all he had was a dog picture for his Facebook profile and nothing else.
Uh-oh.
He calls me up on the phone and says, look for the Colombian-looking guy down on
Oh, my
the corner.
goodness.
So I go, I'm down there. He flew me up there. He'd had my airfare paid for. I thought, well, if I die, at least I've got a management deal for a second. So I get up there, and we're outside a record store. We did an in-store thing with vinyl records inside because those were hot at the time. Those were getting some traction.
So cool.
And so we went to a country bar after one of our shows in New York City, and it was called a country bar, but by 11 p.m. they were rapping, and they thought that they were country, doing all this rapping stuff. And I thought, this is a poor excuse for a country bar. So I kind of weaved that experience into this song, Dixie Chaser. A good friend told me New York City is a sight to see. The girls are all about a yeehaw of a hey, all deep south backwoods drawl. Made me a beeline to the bright lights pulled, and late one night found a spot called the Lone Star, a city slicker steak on a country bar. Girls gathered round to hear me talk. I had them roped in like a cattle call, but a down-home voice knocked me out like it had about 4 more rounds. Like sweet Kentucky bourbon she got my pulse are working, smooth as southern comfort, hot as white lightning flowing from a still in the Piedmont fine smoke. And little Vixen from below the Mason-Dixon, I'm on the trail of this top shelf 100 proof heartbreaker. She's a shot of Dixie. Dixie, and I'm a Dixie chaser. I said, y'all, it's been grand. I took that Southern Belle by the hand, raced out the door to my 4x4, windows down on that beat-up Ford. Radio rocking, horns were honking, parked in the spot the cops roped off. Hit a hotel, then grabbed the key, and in room 303, like sweet Kentucky bourbon she got. My pulse is working, smooth as Southern comfort, Honda's white lightning flowing from a still in the Piedmont fine smoke. Get a little Vixen from below the Mason-Dixon, I'm on the trail of this top shelf 100 proof heartbreaker. She's a shot at Dixie, and I'm a Dixie chaser. Walked out 2 hours later where I'd left my truck. The cops were laughing, saying it's been told and you're out of luck. But you should have seen how fast the bases hit the ground when she said, back in the room, let's go another round on me. And like sweet Kentucky bourbon she got my pulse is working, smooth as Southern comfort, hot as white lightning flowing from a still in the Piedmont fine smoke. Can little Vixen from below the Mason-Dixon, I'm on the trail of this top shelf 100 proof heartbreaker. She's a shot at Dixie, and I'm a Dixie chaser. Yeah, she's a shot at Dixie, and I'm a Dixie chaser.
Nice.
Dixie.
Easy to see why that's a Song of the Year choice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really good.
Did it
Ooh.
open other doors?
It won't stop, y'all. It won't stop. It won't stop. Okay.
It's a smartphone.
Yeah, it's smart.
Is that one you want to keep for yourself, or is it one you're still trying to
Well, it's
shop?
kind of run its course now, and you know, it's been a great little song for me. But you know, if anybody big wants to pick it up and make me lots of money, I'll let them do it.
Yeah, I wondered if that was the case.
I wouldn't mind walking to my mailbox for a living for a little while.
Right.
How long y'all been here? Been back?
Just about a month or so.
Okay. I was just thinking, Leslie and I mention it quite a lot, but every Wednesday at Songbirds, there's a
You know
an
what?
open-
I heard that Wednesday's going away from
Oh, they're
Rick,
gonna do-
and they're going to just do the jazz jam on Mondays. I don't
The
know.
blues and
about
jazz?
that. Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's what they told me.
There's a couple of opportunities, is what I was suggesting.
But the jazz isn't. It's really fluid. Whoever.
It's looser than-
Yeah.
They get
yeah.
special guests up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, it's an open
mic with all instruments.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
It's free
there's
to
a
the
lot
public.
of open mics for singer-songwriters, but Johnny
Yeah.
Smith over at Songbirds wanted
South.
to put he's got all this equipment, so he puts everything, drums, guitars, it's all there, so
Yeah.
you can show up if you're a drummer or a bass player.
The
or-
keyboard's missing right now, though. So Rick Rushing hosts it. He's a jazz man. We've had him on several times. He's like a good buddy of ours. Anyway, so it starts at 7. You have to sign up at about 5:30, and it's free to the public.
That's awesome.
Goes on to like 10.
We've been looking for things for the original music to showcase that. One of the problems is that, you know, nobody pays for original music around here. So, you know, it'd be freebies that we're doing, and we really would like to get into somewhat of the house concert scene.
Gotcha.
And there's 3 different people that we've been able to,
Yeah.
you know, scrape up their names, but not been given any chances by those 3 people to showcase and show what we can do. It's a proving type thing for us because we've proved ourselves all over the country, but we got to come back to my hometown to prove ourselves
Yeah,
once again.
where it's the hardest.
Where it's
Right.
the toughest. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there are opportunities, so we'll talk about
that'd be great.
that. So some names and whatnot. But tell everybody again, is there a live performance coming up anytime soon?
Yes, we have. I'm going to be singing the national anthem on June 28th at the Lookout Stadium. So that's going to be happening. I think it's around 6:30ish.
Give or take.
Give or take, maybe a little after that. I can't remember the exact time, but Chattanooga Lookout Stadium, June 28th, national anthem. And then July 12th, we're going to be heading to Ingelheim Vineyards in Blue Ridge, Georgia, playing down there.
Sounds pretty.
From 5 to 8. Yeah, it's beautiful down there. And then we've got We've been playing a lot at Spring Hill Suites, the Ottawa, Tennessee location. We haven't been able to get to Scotty's on the River. They don't want to have anybody but their house band there.
Really?
Yes. I'm just going to expose that.
What's the house band?
I don't know, but
I don't know.
Whatever.
That's odd. So y'all, like most venues in Chattanooga, what we've noticed with the community here are really cool about like sharing their space, and I heard a few things like that sometimes. But another place you might want to check out is Stir. Our buddy Lon Eldridge, he'll be.
I know Lon.
Yeah, he's one of my best
He's great.
friends.
He played one of my songwriter nights.
Yeah.
Cool, but he
Chattanooga
plays-
Songwriters Association too.
Yeah.
If you haven't hooked up with those guys.
Is that
You guys.
who runs that one?
Oh,
what
if
is
you had
his
an
name?
ass,
He's such a nice-
I'll think
is it
of it.
Chris something?
Benton, Chris Benton.
We've had
We
several
should
of them
know.
in. If you hadn't asked,
But you
I'll
guys,
think of
Lon
it.
Eldridge every Sunday, the first Sunday of the month at Stir, starting at 11
And I've
with the night
contacted
Shoes
Stir too. So if you know anybody that runs Stir,
We do.
would love the
I'll give
warm
it to
lead.
you
Yeah.
after.
Yeah,
Great.
we'll
Yeah.
talk. We'll
Yeah.
share that.
Cool.
All right. So Meredith, Brandon, Maddox,
Yep.
what are you gonna take us out with?
I'm going to take you out with a song that I wrote for my buddy Bill, who's a Vietnam vet. He comes to all of our shows. Well, I was saying the Nashville area, just that, but he drove 4.5 hours to Henderson, Kentucky to come see us, and drove down here to. So he logged about 6.5, 7 hours
He
on the
said-
road
He texted
this
me
past
yesterday
weekend.
after he got back home, and he figured that after the weekend he had logged at least 700 miles to come to everything that he came to. So we played the Cornbread Festival in South Pittsburgh on Sunday, and he surprised us there backstage. So it was kind of interesting because we didn't think he was coming. But he's just a wonderful inspiration. And Brandon worked a temp job with Bill in the Nashville area when Brandon first moved to Nashville and was just getting started there. And Bill was just kind of an inspiration. He had lost his wife, and he, like we had said, he was a Vietnam vet, and
Yeah, we shared a mutual like of bluegrass together.
Yeah.
You know, bluegrass is big around Chattanooga. I used to be in a bluegrass band back in college. But Bill comes to every show, and sometimes when it's a late night, because we play everything from the late night bar gig, we've played the Smoky Dive bars, we've played the wherever, to the house parties, the house concerts, the casinos, the corporate parties, you know, wineries, you name it, we're there. If there's money to be had, we're there.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we, this song, I Don't Dream in Color Anymore, was a Bill-inspired song because his wife passed away, and he's a Vietnam vet. So one morning I woke up with the lyrics of this next song.
Wow.
And thank you guys so much thank you for having us, and thanks everybody for tuning in to this, and the library as well. Thanks everybody who made
And
today
you guys,
happen.
Bill Markham, we talked about, was like my father in TV, Channel 3. He was a Vietnam vet too, which is interesting. His wife's named Gail. She was there at the National Cemetery last week. So I think you will like this song.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I miss Bill Markham on the news.
Yeah, he's a great
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Sun broke through the rain-washed sky, so I drove out to the park. Saw an old man sleeping on a bench near where I'd parked my car. When I walked by, he woke up. I said, "How you doing, sir?" He said, "Great, I was with my wife just now when she was on this earth." Now when I sleep, I see the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. Her and I dancing in the light of the TV's faded glow. When I'm with her, things are black and white before she passed through heaven's door. I don't dream in color anymore. I scratched my head and stared at him and let him ramble on. He said, story goes, her heart broke when I left for Vietnam. But the war I still fight every day is how to make it till each night. My world goes dim and she comes into sight. 'Cause when I sleep I see the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. Her and I dancing in the light of the TV's faded glow. When I'm with her, things are black and white before she passed through heaven's door. I don't dream in color anymore. Don't get me wrong, I know the world's changed from high-res cameras to video games. So when I drift off to those shades of gray, it's the prettiest sight to me. 'Cause when I sleep, I see the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. Her and I dancing in the light of the TV's faded glow. When I'm with her, things are black and white before she passed through heaven's door. Friend, I don't dream in color anymore.
Very nice. Good stuff today, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank
All
y'all
white
both.
now. White. No
Anthony
color.
Qualls is the guy's name I was trying to think of.
Yes,
Sorry,
yes.
Anthony.
I know his name.
Chattanooga
I knew I would think
Songwriters
of it.
Association, right?
Yep. Meredith, Brandon, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Barry.
It's been a lot of fun.
Very
Good
much.
stuff.
I'm glad that you guys are back.
Yeah,
here
welcome
in
to Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Welcome
we're glad to be
home.
back.
Welcome
It's gonna be
home.
a cool little.
Yeah, definitely. We'll hook up with some connections right now. Okay. Gotta
Thanks,
do
guys.
that. Thanks for connecting with us.